Let's begin with Telangana now, where schools there have reopened today despite extreme heat conditions. Now, schools were originally supposed to start from the second week, but keeping in mind the Telangana Formation Day today, which is in fact tomorrow, the government has issued a notice saying schools will have to reopen today. The Hyderabad School Parents Association has written to the Commissioner and Director of School Education to postpone the date of opening. Let's go across now first to my colleague Paul Uman, who joins us live from Hyderabad. So, Paul, this is, questions already being raised about why the government was in such a hurry to reopen these schools. And, of course, it coincides with the fact that State Formation Day is tomorrow.
Well, Viren, every year schools reopen only around the second week of June, and that is when a monsoon starts entering the state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and we get quite a good amount of rain. The temperatures fall down. Even as I speak to you, for the last 1 week, temperatures have been hovering around 40 degrees Celsius, which is quite a heat, because this child rights activists are demanding that schools be reopened only second week of June like it's usually done, because it can really affect a child in several ways. In fact, I'm going to quickly show you, Viren, the government order written by the government of Telangana, the Youth Advancement, Tourism and Culture Department. It clearly says in this particular thing that in this particular government order, celebration in schools, educational institutions. Further, as all schools and other educational institutions will be reopening on 1st, all the schools and other educational institutions, including public, private, corporate, should celebrate Telangana state formation celebrations in their respective schools or educational institutions for 3 days, starting from 1st to 3rd. And all 3 days, Viren, they're supposed to organize competitions, they're supposed to have celebrations on all 3 days. All this when the temperature is hovering around 40 degrees Celsius. Also, I have another letter written by Achutra, who's a child rights activist, clearly saying that this act of the department opening and running the schools in the hot summer will badly affect the health of children. Hence, is a violation of child rights. Moreover, Education Department has not taken the opinion of parents and teachers in this particular decision. Clearly, parents are angry. They're angry about the fact that 2 weeks earlier, the schools are reopening. One last letter I'm going to show you, Viren. This is written by Hyderabad Schools Parents Association. All the parents together, they have quoted, in fact, the Met department, the meteorological department, in which they're saying that temperatures in the districts, especially Ramagundam, Adilabad, and several such districts, the temperatures are hovering around 44, 43, 39, 41, 43, all around 40 and above, which clearly says it is going to affect. This is the table. If you can see, if Kiran can show you the table, all the district names and the temperatures, 44, 43, 41, 40, 40. This is the temperature this week. They're saying in this kind of temperature, the last line says, we understand that this year's decision to reopen school on 1st June is to celebrate the Telangana state formation. We very much respect the sentiment of the state formation and are very much happy to celebrate, but not at the expense of the health of several lakhs of school-going children. The message in the last line is very clear, Viren. They're saying we very much appreciate the spirit of Telangana. We are very much part of the celebration and we will celebrate, but not at the expense of our children and not at the expense of their health. Hopefully, the authorities will wake up. Despite a lot of protests, despite a lot of letters being written by departments, the schools have reopened today. In fact, they sent out a clarification saying from 4th to 8th, schools will have a half day. Why not 1st, 2nd and 3rd when the state has given orders for a celebration of Telangana Formation Day is the big question. Back to you, Viren.
Right, and let's in fact try and put that question to Ashish Naredi, who is part of the Hyderabad Parents Association. Appreciate you joining us on the phone line, Ashish. What do you make of the Telangana government's decision to reopen schools early? Is this, do you think, an attempt to try and ensure kids are there for this, for the state day, or do you think there are other reasons for this?
The sound quality was bad, so I wasn't able to hear the full question, but could get bits of it. See, the essential part of it is that, the government is trying to promote the Telangana Formation Day, which is a good step. However, advancing the reopening of schools in such a heat wave condition, I don't think is an advisable move. If at all the government required a good celebration of Telangana Formation Day, we could have come to schools on 1st or 2nd for a day, celebrate the Telangana Day, and then declare the schools off. And if you see the notification given by the government, it also says that, you can continue with half a day till about 8th of June or so, clearly showing that heat wave conditions are there and the government is also concerned. So if agreed that the temperatures are not conducive for schools to reopen, why conduct this entire charade of getting the schools to reopen and then declare half-a-day functioning late and then perhaps further modification of the order? So the rightful step, if you ask us, would have been, if at all, Telangana Formation Day needed to be celebrated in a big way in schools, then have a celebration for half a day on June 1st or June 2nd, as the government would like, and then declare the schools off. Let the schools reopen on 12th or 15th of June.
But Ashish, let me ask you another question now, which is that what is the normal timetable that your family and parents across the state are prepared for in Telangana? When do schools?
See, the schools usually open between 12th and 15th of June. So this time they've been advanced by 2 weeks, and while some might say that it's just 2 weeks, but the big difference that comes about in these 2 weeks is the coming of the monsoon. And with the rains coming down, the temperatures do come down by significant degrees, which is where it kind of becomes a bit conducive for schools to reopen. So advancing it by about 2 weeks in these conditions is a bit harsh. And then if you look at the temperatures, I think on 30th or 29th or 30th, Hyderabad recorded its highest summer temperature ever in this year. It had crossed 42 degrees north. So in such conditions, it's really not advisable for schools to reopen this early. We could have easily waited for 2 weeks.
Right, Ashish, stay with me. I've got Isidore Philip, who's a child rights activist, who's also joining us on the phone line. Isidore, we've heard there from Ashish. He's a parent. He's concerned about the safety of children in schools all across the state because the temperatures are just so high. So is it really advisable to be calling kids 2 weeks early when the heat is at its peak?
It's extremely unfortunate. It's extremely unfortunate that the children are being called at this point of time. And just because the state wants to celebrate the state formation day, it's a very important event for the state. But the problem is when you actually force the children to break their, during summer, the vacation is for a purpose. The vacation is given so that they could be respite during the high heat, and then post that they'll be able to come in and join school. But during the peak of summer, June 1st, June 2nd, is no time to be able to call children back, especially in Hyderabad. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so...
Especially...
Yeah, go on.
Hyderabad. Now, what was very surprising is the same state which has actually modified the order is also saying, yes, let's have half a day. But why half a day? Why half a day? You want children to be part of the celebration? Yes, they shall be part of the celebration. Post, whenever they come in, 12th, 15th, I think children should be priority. Not them. Children are no decoration items. And children are not... Let's not convert any of these demonstrations of patriotism into acts of tokenism. Let's not involve children. Children are not decoration material. Let's respect the children. Let's respect their age. Let's respect their vulnerability. And I think it's high time that we prioritize children as human beings. And I think they deserve better.
Right. And wouldn't it make it worse, of course, if this is indeed as it appears to be, all being done just so that the kids are in time and they can be there when when Telangana celebrations, Telangana Formation Day celebrations are being conducted?
Yeah, Telangana Formation Day is a very important day for the state. Agreed. Nobody is denying that particular nobody is denying the importance of an event like this. And children's participation, nobody is contesting it. But the timing during the peak of summer, June 2nd, is no time to be able to reopen the school just because children need to participate. And I think we can actually push the celebrations back. The state can launch a 15-day celebration. The state will launch it on the 2nd, and the children will have the celebration on the 15th. Great idea. They can participate in the closing. I think it's about thinking out of the box. If we think these children are important, if their health matters to us, then I think we'll be able to prioritize and then take decisions accordingly.
Right, this is Philip, the child rights activist, joining us on the phone line. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Let me go back to Paul now. Paul, has there been any defense on the Telangana government thus far, about, because parents have already raised a lot of questions, Isidore and other child rights activists as well are questioning what the logic is behind doing all of this?
Well, absolutely, Viren. In fact, not only child rights activists, a lot of parents are also angry, like I said before. A lot of activists as well as parents associations have written out, not only through the district education officers, including the commissioner, including the education minister, Kadiyam Srihari. All of them have written out, have shown their disgust about advancing the reopening of schools, especially in a state like Telangana where temperatures can go up to 45 in places like Ramagundam and Adilabad. It is after this outrage by parents and associations that, like Ashish was pointing out, a circular was sent out by the education department saying half day of schools will be there from the 4th to 8th so that the temperatures will even out by the time it is 8th. But the question, Viren, how does having schools being given a half day even really help? Because schools start off early by 7, end by around 12 o'clock. That is the peak time when the sun is directly above and it's very hot at around 12 or 1 o'clock whenever the school gets over. What is the point of even giving students a half day? Is what a lot of parents are asking. Might as well keep them at school and leave them at 4 or 5, a normal school day, so that by then the heat is down instead of giving them a half day. Giving a half day does not really serve the purpose, and it is only trying to find a temporary solution to the problem. But the state government has not answered questions as to why the state is opening schools early at a time when like this, when the temperatures are very high in the state.
They're reporting that story for us. Thanks for bringing it to us and, of course, telling that story to all our viewers across the country. Certainly questions being asked of the Telangana government.